In May of this year, a Chinese tourist in Paris had an unpleasant interaction with restaurant staff while dining. She filmed a video claiming to have been treated unfairly, but as the situation developed, it became even more shocking, because in her attempt to prevent Chinese people from being looked down upon, it totally backfired.
大家记清楚，这家店对中国人进行不公平对待。
Everyone remember this restaurant. They treat Chinese people unfairly. When we first arrived at the restaurant, we saw some empty seats. The waiter said those were reserved, so we couldn't sit there and asked to sit at the bar. At that point, we were still very happy, enjoying our meal and taking lots of photos. However, we had ordered quite a lot, 5 dishes in total. When the dishes hadn't been fully served yet, the bar became a bit cramped. We saw that some people finished eating and left, so we asked the waiter if we could move to the newly freed up seats. The waiter said no. We didn't think much of it, and continued eating while waiting for the rest of our food. But then we noticed that a foreigner who came after us and was sitting next to us was shown to the newly available seats. We asked why this person could go there when he came after us, and the waiter replied that he had a reservation. This excuse was unacceptable to her. What made it worse was that when the woman tried to discuss the issue in English with the waiter, claimed that they only spoke French or Spanish, making her feel like the waiter was just brushing her off. This led to a language conflict with the restaurant staff, and during their argument, she recorded the incident on her phone. The restaurant staff then called the police, accusing her of infringing on their rights. At this moment, 2 French women who were dining nearby tried to calm her down and told her to focus on enjoying her holiday rather than arguing with the restaurant.
走之前，我就指着那个女服务员大声地说
Before leaving, I pointed at that female waiter and loudly said, "You're racist." Then we left and left a bad review for them on Google. At the end of the video, the woman tells the audience, when you're abroad, you represent your country. While trying to behave properly, you also need to stand firm when needed. We are a friendly nation, but we are not to be bullied. Everyone should speak out bravely and argue reasonably when faced with unfair situations. That way, our fellow countrymen will encounter a more fair and friendly environment in the future. In the video comment section, some viewers said, "To be honest, after watching your video before the food arrived, where you were chatting and laughing so animatedly, the restaurant staff might have already felt unfriendly towards you." Other viewers explained, "In places with different cultures and languages, facing things that are hard to understand doesn't necessarily mean people are targeting you. European restaurants tend to be quieter and don't like customers who speak loudly. And in foreign countries, waitstaff have the right to assign seats and arrange where customers dine. If other customers complain about your noise affecting their meal, the staff can ask you to leave." Some viewers bluntly said, "The customer's always right mentality doesn't apply abroad. You're just asking for trouble." In a follow-up video, the woman who posted the original incident admitted,
对，我就是一个很事儿很难搞的人。
"I'm just someone who's really difficult and hard to deal with. I'm not going to be a doormat." This is a tapas restaurant where you can eat and drink at the same time. Places like this aren't meant for quiet dining. I looked it up online and want to share the characteristics of tapas with you. It's diverse in ingredients, with small portions, and people can share and enjoy a casual dining atmosphere. In response to the comments, she specifically emphasized that the French restaurant is a place where you can enjoy your meal casually, and complained that Chinese people place too many moral restrictions on themselves. She also said, "When something happens, I first reflect on whether I did something wrong. When others treat me unfairly, I always wonder if I made a mistake, but this is a bad habit. And when I've been bullied this much, am I supposed to just swallow my anger?"
忍让不能换来尊重，沉默就是在纵容恶习。
Tolerance does not earn respect. Silence only enables bad habits. I'd rather be someone who excels at what I do than be a soft target for others to manipulate.
这个社会就是谁说话有理，知道吗？学历比你高。
This society is all about who speaks with reason, you know. My education is higher than yours.
Is it high enough to go against the traffic?
Are you a master's degree holder? We have a BMW X5, but I still like riding my bicycle. On October 27th, a woman riding a bike the wrong way collided with a man on the street in Beijing. The two then got into an intense argument. What shocked everyone was that the woman's reason for riding the wrong way was that her education level was higher. An older man passing by couldn't stand it and reminded the woman that she was breaking the rules by riding the wrong way.
You're going the wrong way. You're breaking the traffic rules.
I don't care if I'm going the wrong way. He crashed into me. I'll call my husband to come. He's upstairs and he'll come down to hit you.
Go ahead.
When the man didn't seem afraid, the woman said, "I have a higher education than you, so I can ride the wrong way if I want."
You think your education is so high. Mine is higher.
Yeah, it's so high. You have such great manners, so high you can break the rules and still talk like that. Are you an undergrad? Are you a master's degree holder? I can go the wrong way if I want, but you crashed into me. You think your education is so high? Stop pretending like it's all about your education. Mine is higher than yours. When I went to a 211, 985 school, you were still wearing diapers. Education is to serve the people, not for you to show off. This bizarre scene left people on site stunned, and when the video was posted, online viewers were equally shocked. Some said, "I thought people like this only existed in short skits. Is it really this extreme? The elite 211 and 985 schools produce people like this? Luckily, I didn't go there." Others commented, "No wonder some people push to get a master's degree. I didn't realize having a high education gives you so much power." Many people also pointed out, high education and high morals really don't go hand in hand. In Chinese traditional culture, it is said that the greatest virtue is knowing your mistakes and correcting them. No matter your status, you should always self-reflect and treat others with respect. Confucius advocated for benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and trust, emphasizing humility, self-discipline, and reflection. But in China, under the rule of the Communist Party, many people take pride in their education and wealth while overlooking the most basic virtues and manners. Education values profit over virtue. Families spoil their children, society worships money, and politeness and humility are disappearing. People's tolerance and respect have been replaced by the survival of the fittest mentality. This is where the problem lies. Chinese people traveling abroad want respect from the world, fearing being looked down upon or bullied, so they try to protect themselves with a tough attitude, which is understandable. But respect between people should be based on equality and understanding, not on judging others from a self-centered perspective. Knowing how to respect oneself and maintaining politeness during disagreements is the kind of demeanor that should be displayed in interactions. This strong defense of personal interest is exactly the use violence to curb violence mentality in the Chinese Communist Party's culture. Arguing fiercely and confronting people aggressively not only fails to bring true respect, but it can also trigger a vicious cycle of retaliation, making it impossible to create an environment where Chinese people are respected. In contrast, Taiwanese people have demonstrated through their actions that civilization is power. Whether in everyday life or international interactions, they show a gentle, rational, and respectful attitude towards others. Their societal demeanor, rooted in respect, goodwill, and traditional morality, is widely welcomed and honored in the international community. Therefore, civility is not weakness, but a deeper power derived from inner moral cultivation and cultural literacy. As early as China's COVID-19 lockdowns, the people used a saying. As soon as they talk about epidemic control, even the street dog at the village corner thinks it's a police dog. This saying was used to mock the policy enforcers. Though usually ineffective, they used the Communist Party's power to oppress ordinary people in a brutal manner. In Communist Party culture, whether a person is respected or judged as good or bad is not measured by their moral character, but by their power, social status, or even official position and privileges. As long as one holds a certain status, resources, or power, they occupy a high ground, feeling free to act arrogantly and without consideration for vulnerable groups. In June 2024, a video that gained widespread attention showed an embassy vehicle illegally parked in the middle of the road, perfectly illustrating this sense of entitlement.
哎，哥们儿，使馆车就能随便停是吗？
Hey, does the embassy car just park wherever? Can it block someone else's door like this?
懂什么叫使馆车吗？
Do you know what an embassy car is? Do you know what diplomatic immunity is? Although diplomatic vehicles and personnel may enjoy certain privileges such as tax exemptions, visa waivers, or immunity, this does not mean they can break the law or disrupt public order. Yet the woman in the video, because of her social status and power, openly shouted, "Do you know what diplomatic immunity is?" This shows that in the minds of those within the communist system, privilege equals rules and laws. In July of this year, a netizen named Li was driving in the city of Fangchenggang. There, he met a Mercedes-Benz on a narrow road. Li stopped his car to give way, but the woman driving the Mercedes demanded he reverse the car to clear the way. When Li refused, the woman pulled out a certificate and said, "Otherwise, I'll just use this."
I want to get out from the side. Just move a bit and I can pass.
No, I won't move.
You see, my tire is already over the side.
Either you reverse a bit or I'll get my certificate.
What will the certificate do?
I'll call the police.
What's the point of calling the police? You think you can scare me just with your certificate?
During this incident, the woman with the Mercedes-Benz had her father immediately threaten the man. She gave him his last name, home address, and phone number. After Li called the police with no results, he uploaded the video, which quickly went viral, reaching millions of views. Strangely, that same night, the local police station sent officers to Li's home, demanding that he delete the post and apologize to the woman in the Mercedes, or else he would face imprisonment. Under police threat, Li deleted and re-uploaded the post several times, blurring parts of the video, which only made the video even more popular. Although it was later discovered that the woman was just a public servant's family member, her status alone allowed her to openly bully an ordinary citizen, and even mobilize police forces to extend the harm. This clearly demonstrates the dark power behind the privileges that are highly sought after in China, which ordinary people find hard to reach. Traditional Chinese culture has been passed down for thousands of years, with its profound integration and vitality connecting it with other cultures, allowing its essence to be passed down through generations. Its philosophical ideas, such as the harmony between heaven and humans, the ethics of cause and effect, the virtue of not doing unto others what you do not want to be done to you, the values of loyalty, filial piety, integrity, wisdom, and trust have formed the moral foundation and societal norms. In traditional views of civilized society, basic human morality, behavioral norms, and standards of good and evil have a relatively unchanging nature, serving as the foundation for human behavior and societal survival over the centuries. But in the eyes of the Communist Party, there are no universal standards for human behavior. Kindness and greed, law and principle are all flexible standards. One cannot bully others except when the party designates them as enemies. One must honor their parents, except when their parents are class enemies. One must uphold benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, trust, but that's excluded when the party doesn't want or isn't willing to. Through its brainwashing education, the Communist Party has completely subverted the general humanity of the people in mainland China. The Communist Party has always taken a deceptive approach to traditional culture, amplifying palace intrigue, power struggles, dictatorial tyranny, and other negative aspects that arose when people strayed from traditional culture. They created their own set of standards for good and evil, a way of thinking, and a narrative system, convincing people that this party culture is the true continuation of traditional culture. The party has even used people's aversion to party culture to encourage them to abandon real traditional Chinese culture. Party culture has corrupted the older generation, poisoned the younger generation, and influenced even the youngest. Its impact is deep and widespread, even affecting those trying to expose the Communist Party's wrongdoings. They still use the party's standards of good and evil, their way of thinking, and their discourse. This is why people often ask in mainland China, is it the bad people who grew old, or the old people who became bad? Mainland China has seen the rise of wolf culture, a mindset that celebrates the wild, brutal, greedy, and violent nature of wolves, and applies it to one's career as fighting spirit. From novels and movies to company training manuals, wolf culture is promoted as a symbol of strength. Even diplomacy is marked by a war-wolf stance, aggressively confronting the world with sharp teeth and claws. Many believe that this is the advanced culture that will help one succeed in the survival of the fittest. In other words, people no longer need moral principles. The standard of success is to win by any means necessary. The Communist Party uses different standards to divide society into opposing groups, then stirs up hatred and conflict between them. These divisions are based on factors like class, gender, race, and ethnicity, pitting people against each other. At the same time, the CCP replaces traditional moral standards with fabricated standards of self-interest, making the public ruthlessly compete against one another. It is precisely because of the CCP's all-encompassing rule that Chinese culture, thought processes, and even the very standard by which people judge right and wrong have all been deeply imprinted by the CCP. What people say and do has become a reflection of the party's ideology. The CCP's way of thinking and its moral standards have been ingrained so deeply that everyone, to a certain extent, identify with its distorted logic. These notions have been digested and transformed into the very essence of their lives, so much so that they automatically think according to the CCP's logic, using its perspective to judge what is right or wrong. When they see aggressive wolf warrior attacks, they actually think, well done, I would do the same. At this point, with no sense of truth or conscience left, the only logic of the Communist Party remains in the hearts of the Chinese people. So how can they return to the roots of their ancient Eastern civilization that was once known as a land of propriety and righteousness?